There is.
Ooh.
The shove off. Oh, but. Oh, my God. Goodness.
Check.
Coming out of nowhere. Absolutely brilliant.
Woo! I maintain, guys, Shane Taylor is the most intimidating looking wrestler on Ring of Honor. Pretty much in all of wrestling. Like, there's few people that truly look like they would hurt you. Like, just a chop from Shane Taylor would make my entire chest cave in. I'm very much aware of that. I've come to terms with that. That's your man. That's your man. Woo! Like, who's fucking with Shane Taylor? Seriously. Who? By the way, guys, Danielle will be popping in just a few, just getting her stuff together as we enjoy this main event.
Asking you, I shall appear.
So as you know, I'm watching Willow.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can hear her. She's kind of got like a toy. Like, I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear her. She's got a toy like right near. Well, right now I've got the TV blasting. I feel like once the TV show's over, once ROH is over, it might be easier for her munching to be heard. She's kind of just playing with one of her toys, and it makes a little noise. And she's right here, so that might be what you hear. If it sounds like I'm chewing something, but I can't be chewing something because I'm talking.
Okay.
Just a warning. Also, because of something with as I'm dog sitting for my parents, something with their living room is like no virtual background works. It all looks horrible. So that's why I'm just going with this, the blurred couch.
I like your blur. I think I left. Whatever. Anyway.
Okay.
Don't listen to me.
Oh, here comes Briscoe. Who do you think wins this?
Mark Briscoe.
You go for Team Good Guy? I picked Team Bad Guy. I thought Shane Taylor.
That's because you love Team Bad Guy.
Yeah. In particular, when it's Shane Taylor Promotions, I always think they're gonna win, like everything.
Yeah.
Like I see them as a stable that should just plow through. Well, because they're an actual stable. They're compiled of a team as well as a true alliance in Shane Taylor and Lee. You've got a team in Top Flight, but AR Fox and Mark Briscoe aren't, a true alliance. There's no real reason this collection of four should be a true stable. But here we are.
That's why they would win, because they're not a true stable, I feel.
Right, exactly. They're actual people that AEW gives shine to. So, yep, here you're right. Mark Briscoe.
Danielle loves being right.
Good call, Danielle. Good call.
Danielle loves being right. It's one of her favorite things.
I have a graphic I have to change.
I have to order a new charger. Do you know how old this charger is?
It doesn't work anymore?
No. I think I left it in Vegas because I put my laptop in the safe, and I think I put my charger in the safe and then just pulled out my laptop and forgot the charger.
Oh, that's the worst.
I think. But this laptop is so old, it's like one of the flat chargers. You know what I mean? It's not USB-C, it's not USB, it's nothing. Like, it's not that. I have to order it. I mean, thank God Amazon has it, but
right.
Amazon has everything.
And with Prime, same day.
Yeah. Well, I'll get it tomorrow, which will be good for us.
Perfect.
Oh, no, it's a Saturday. Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best wrestling podcast around. Hosted by Brady and Danielle. The Heel Mob.
From Brooklyn to your living room, it's the best podcast to listen to. Morning, even afternoon, here clever blind girl and a Jew talk about wrestling. They do it 24/7, cause they love to speak on it every week. That's why they are best friends, and they're back once again for some wrestling talk. So sit back, relax, it's time for Heel Mob. They're not just smart, they're Heel Mob.
We're not.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen, fans and friends. We are back once again. I am the custodian of charisma. I am the ophthalmologist of optimism. She is the sultan of sarcasm and the sorceress of sass. I am the ghost. She is the coat. I am Brady. She is Danielle. Together, we are the best friends in all the land. Together, we are the Heel Marks, and this is the best Ring of Honor post show in all the land. This is Mark of Honor. We all just saw what was the Ring of Honor main event, and that of course takes us to the post show. Danielle, we are back. It's been
back.
A few weeks since we've covered Mark of Honor, since we've covered Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
This was a very short episode.
I loved it.
Like very short.
It was
And
so short. It wasn't even 40. It was 45 minutes.
Yeah, and the weird thing about it, and it's more weird in, I guess, the way they presented it from an advertising perspective. Normally on social media, and they did do this, they did it yesterday and they did it today, they'll post up graphics advertising the matches. And I was led to believe we were having at least 7 matches.
Right.
Because there were different graphics saying the Righteous will be in action. The Spanish announce project will be in action. The
Right.
Premier Athletes will be in action. You know,
Right. So you figured those
the
were going to be
Kingdom.
multiple matches.
The Kingdom will be in action. So the first match when we're getting our entrances, I'm so confused. They're all coming out one after. I'm like, wait a minute. They're all. It's the same match.
Right.
Like, why wouldn't you advertise that? Like, why say each of them in action? You've taped this. This is a taped show. You knew the match we were getting,
Yeah,
which
it's very
on
weird.
paper is a very exciting one.
I mean, it's kind of a kerfuffle in my opinion.
But in terms of it's 4 tag teams and you're giving
Right.
8, so like there's combustible elements. Will the heels get along? Will the faces get along? Will
Right.
something happen? Also the tag teams are noteworthy tag teams. The Kingdom,
Right.
these are Ring of Honor legends. These are talents we want to see more of. The
Right.
Righteous is the first time we've seen them and we wanted them back.
In a long
Me
time,
and
yeah.
you have been talking repeatedly about what's going on with them. We thought they might have been gone from Ring of Honor and
Yeah.
might be following Elijah over to TNA. So them being in a match, being on the card, that is certainly noteworthy. The Premier Athletes and the Spanish Announce Project, you don't necessarily like I love Premier. I love both of them, but promotions wise, they're not presented in a way where anyone's like, oh, gotta tune in.
Right.
But nonetheless, the combination of those 8 teams is a noteworthy match.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Certainly no reason to lead us into thinking all 4 of them are having individual matches, which most likely would have been against jobber teams.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot going on. I was like, oh, the Righteous are on this side. Oh, this one's on this. I was like, these are all teams I want to see wrestle, but not necessarily on the same side.
Yeah, and then it's one of those things where it's like, as I kind of just mentioned, for us in particular, who Righteous fans, but really for anyone, I feel like the Righteous is one of the more captivating teams or acts in Ring of Honor, and the fact that they haven't been on since what was a great feud for the
Right.
tag team championships, you kind of think they might want to make the return a little something. I did appreciate the fact that the advertisement that they used was the Righteous returns, like they were selling it as a big deal.
Right.
However, then they make the secondary entrance on their team. It was the big return, and now you hear what I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
The big aspect of the return was essentially that they were the ones that got the pinfall.
Right. Right. I guess. Yeah. I guess. I mean, it. Yeah. It was just a weird. It was just a weird pairing to me. All four, and there was so much of them going on.
But what I did like about this, and I'd like them to make this aspect a trend. Like, as I said, for the righteous, for their big return, they get the win, right? They get the pinfall. Needs to happen. Totally should happen. I kind of thought they were going to go the other way and just give the kingdom a big win and then maybe have the righteous blame the premier athletes for it and kind of have like a face turn happen afterwards. I thought they might do that. But if you don't do that, then yeah, righteous get the win. And then the premier athletes do exactly what, you kind of, you pray they do in situations like this, which is, of course, take all the credit.
Right.
Because they finally
100%.
got a W.
Right. They're like, yay! All because of us.
Right. Like, we'll take it. We'll take it. In the history books, it's not going to say who got the pinfall. It's just going to say that all four of us got the W. Right. So yeah, and I'd love for that to be a random trend. It doesn't even have to be with the righteous. It doesn't even have to be with other tag teams. Put them in a 6-man tag with a random person. Let that random person get the pinfall. Like, let's get a winning streak with none of them getting pinfalls. That's what I want.
That'd be amazing and hilarious. I love that idea.
Right? Yeah. Speaking of an idea I know you love, or maybe I don't know. We talked about this off screen. We haven't really talked about it on the show, though. What do you make of the women's Ring of Honor Pure Championship tournament that we are getting ready for? Or the announcement that there will be a women's Pure Championship in Ring of Honor.
So this is my thing. There's already 2 titles. Why can't the women just go after the other 2 titles? Why do we need another title for a tournament? Have a tournament to face Red Velvet. Have a tournament to face Athena. Like, I just feel like it's unnecessary to keep making these titles. I know it's a Tony trend, but it's a stupid trend in my opinion.
Yeah, and
I like tournaments. I do like the tournaments. I think that's fun. Right. Because we get to showcase all these women and all that stuff. But I just...
And to the point that I believe you were making, Ring of Honor has a litany of talented female at their disposal. Women that they use on both Ring of Honor and AEW, women that they use mostly Ring of Honor, women that they use here and there, more indie talent that I'm sure we'll see a wide array of in this tournament, as we did the first round of the television tournament.
Right.
However, we haven't really seen a number of feuds for that TV title that they did add. And by the way, of course, we're bringing up this title because of this tournament because we did see 3 women who will be added to that tournament tonight: Layla Gray, Deonna Purrazzo, and Taya Valkyrie. So very excited. But it does kind of just remind me about the TV title tournament where the first round, you kind of were hoping it was actually just starting off hot with showcase matches, but it wasn't. It was very much, for lack of a better term, enhancement matches every single week. It was their indie talent that they use, which a lot of those women we haven't really seen in a long time.
Or we saw people facing each other so early on that we were like, wait, why are these 2 facing each other when one of them's going to get eliminated the second week? Like, this is weird.
Right. Exactly. So, and I did enjoy that tournament, especially as we got to the later rounds of it.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I enjoyed the crowning of Billie Starkz as our first TV champion. I did enjoy the work she did with it and the work Red Velvet did in the work with her, which eventually got her to become champion.
Right.
Now, they've done mini programs for some of Red Velvet's matches here and there, but really there's been no feuds. Really, there's been no threats. Really, there's been no sense of urgency from any other female talent to really make a consistent effort to get at her championship, to get that title. And so it's like, I'm supposed to believe that there's a bunch of women back there that are now salivating because you're giving another title when I haven't seen any of them trying to get this one. Like,
or
if you're not trying to get
the women's ROH championship. There's 2
Well, I was
titles.
just going to say, I was just going to say, if you're not trying to get Athena's, I get it because she's the forever champion. Maybe people are just like, yo, that's a monster. That's Godzilla. I don't want to climb. But Red Velvet's not established like that yet. So really,
100%,
everyone
yeah.
should be
It's
knocking
like-
on Red Velvet's door.
Right. So it just makes no sense to me that you want to go through multiple women to get to this championship when you just have to get through one woman to get through to that championship.
And then also, the Pure Championship's always been an interesting one. I don't really mind it with ROH, but the truth is, I think with the average wrestling fan, a pure rules match is not something that really gets them more excited. I don't necessarily think the pure rule stipulation adds so much to it for excitement, and I don't really, I don't know how many women wrestle specifically like that technical or submission-based wrestling style to the
Right.
point where a pure title needs to be introduced to the women's division. And I'm not even saying don't give the women another title. I understand that sentiment, especially when we're talking about a singles championship. I think if they were desperate for a tournament and another title, I think you could probably start pairing some women up, giving us some tag teams. I think if you created a women's tag team division in Ring of Honor, it would create a lot more space for a lot of women
Yes.
for something to do as they're trying to climb the ladder for ROH, as they're trying to find something that works.
But nobody goes for the tag
I mean,
titles anyway. The men's tag titles nobody goes for. Nobody goes for titles. Everyone just
Yeah. Well,
he's just hanging around and
it's-
being like, "Hey, you, I don't like your shirt today. We're gonna wrestle." And it's like, what?
right.
It's like,
And
let's
it's
go
like
for
the
some
crazy
gold.
the crazy thing is, I'm pretty sure they do it because of the fact that, like, you never really know when champions are going to actually come to the show. You never
Right.
know when champions are going to show up to work or need to. But at
Right.
the same time, I feel like if they implemented what me and you were discussing, if they had more people declare they want that title, whether it's a tag team winning a match and then just going, and we do see this, the Gates of Agony are great at it. They do it all the
Yeah.
time. But let's have a tag team win a match, go to the camera. I'm coming for your titles whenever you come to work. You're not here. Where are you? I'm here and
Right.
I'm waiting for it.
Right.
You could have singles wrestlers do that. You could have women's wrestlers do that. Like, anytime we see a match that includes people that are not champions, and that's most of them, on an average show, that's most of them, then the truth is the winner, or anyone really, entrances too, but the winner has a claim to grab that camera and say, yo, champion of my choosing, you see this match? Statement for you. I'm coming for that title. I want that title. Hey, mystery figure who's making these matches, I want my title shot.
Right. None of them are ever going after titles. They're just saying how great they are.
Right.
Like, they don't even go for like
Luckily, we did get our TV champion, Red Velvet, and we got a proven grab match for Ashley Fox. So that was nice. We saw the champion.
This is
we
a good
saw
match.
Established dominance.
This is a good
Say
match.
again?
This is a good match.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Well,
That was a really good
Ashley
match.
Fox is good. I was excited when we saw her. Yeah, I like how she hijacked the handshake. Red Velvet was trying to play a game. She's like, "Nope, you will shake my hand. Then
You
Velvet's
will
fine.
shake it.
Take this clothesline. Take this clothesline." You
Love that. Yeah, I really love that. That was great. Yeah. So this
yeah,
I liked too, and I thought commentary did a really good job of getting Ashley over when they were like, "Oh, there's 5, we're 10 minutes in. Are she just gonna like wean it out? Like, is she gonna hang out for 20, or is she gonna try to go for the pin and the win?" I thought that they really stuck it with her, and I like that a lot.
Agreed. And I would expect to see stuff like that continue.
Yes.
For female enhancement talent as we get closer to the tournament, because while the heavy hitters, the ones to look out for, like we saw Layla Gray, Deonna Purrazzo, Taya Valkyrie, they're going to announce themselves, and I'm sure we'll get more announcements in the weeks ahead. But an Ashley Vox will most likely be fed to one of them in the first round. As we mentioned, a lot of the enhancement talent that we see come here, come in, come out, they will most likely be the first round competitors, and I'm not mad about it, because and that'll be that'll be a big thing about this for the enhancement talent. The fact that this is pure rules And so, as much as I kind of made that as like, I don't know if that's going to be a big draw. I don't know if the women's division, if that's what was missing. Fact is, for these enhancement talent that get called to just put someone over, at the very least, you will most likely get to showcase a lot of your technical wrestling skills. You'll get to showcase your submission moves. You'll get to showcase your dominance and how you can put someone in a move that makes it look like their ankles are about to fall off. So there's certainly opportunities for a lot of the indie talent that get used for this tournament.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like the way this is done a lot.
But as we said we wanted to see more challengers stepping up, and we did. I love this. This is exactly
really
like, I hate when a match ends and it just ends. I love when they do a little something extra. Like,
just a little bit.
Continue it. Right. And also, I hate when somebody wins number one contendership and just like that, they get their title match. I loved that La Catalina became number one contender last week. And now here we are. Red Velvet had to defend her shot, kind of defend La Catalina's number one contendership against a proven ground competitor. But as soon as that match is over, La Catalina comes out and stakes her claim. You ain't so big. You ain't so bad. I ain't scared. I'm coming.
I liked it. Yeah. I thought that was really great. It was really fun. Yeah. This is stuff that you need after matches. You need people to come out and you need to show that they're coming for, tell stories. And that's what they don't do here a lot in ROH. And that's always the problem that we have and the thing we always complain about.
Yeah. And also I love number one contendership matches, right? Like, I love when we actually state who a number one contender is.
Yes.
But I hate when the match happens immediately. Like, let it breathe, especially in a situation like this where I think most of us are kind of assuming Red Velvet will successfully defend this title. Who knows? Right. Maybe I'm wrong. La Catalina is a stud. And I do think, as far as the CMLL partnership with AEW and ROH is concerned, I think they definitely have eyes on her as somebody they want to use. But I think in this situation, a lot of times we are kind of figuring that Red Velvet's going to go over here. So I'd like to see La Catalina be able to shine as number one contender as long as possible. Because now she's number two. Red Velvet's number one. Catalina's number two. So let's enjoy that. And let's try to get as much momentum from that as possible.
Yeah, like I'm number one, you're number two.
Exactly. We got Lance Archer and his number two, Crowbar. Doesn't it look like Crowbar could be like his mini-me?
Yes, very much so. I was like, oh, they're just feeding Crowbar to Lance Archer? No, they didn't. Like, that was a match with time. I was I was surprised.
Yeah, I kind of thought that, like, this could easily, I know Lance Archer's doing his thing with Don Callis over in AEW and the family, but if they wanted to, this could turn into a tag team.
Yeah,
and Lance Archer's already got his tag team partner, but like Crowbar and Lance Archer could be the tag team of my nightmares. Like, it's such a match made in hell. And I mean that in the best way possible, of course.
Right.
But no,
I liked this. I thought it was fun. It was super fun.
No, Lance Archer is just a big bad man you want to see do big bad things, and Crowbar is a crazy old legend. And they're always capable of crazy things. So it's like, let's see what goes down. So yeah, this was fun. This felt like something we would see at like a GCW show.
Yes, this is definitely like one of those pop moments where you're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fun and just wild and kooky, and that's exactly what it was.
Like with GCW, you probably would have no idea Crowbar was there. Lance Archer would just come out and he'd say, "Who wants to take on the MurderHawk Monster?" And then you'd hear a clanging. They'd start with a clanging sound of a crowbar just kind of scraping against the pavement, and then boom, custom graphic crowbar, and then GCW people would go crazy. Crowbar's gonna kill you.
Good old GCW. Yeah, he'd be great in GCW.
Some ROH shows do make me miss like just being able to go to a GCW show.
I miss gritty ROH shows, like the ROH shows we went to. Like, those are fun.
Because that was like when we used to see ROH like back in the day when it was like the real ROH. I mean, that was almost like the beta. Like GCW certainly borrowed aspects.
Yeah, 100%.
Like picked up where ROH left off and was able to really
100%.
take it to the next level.
Right. Absolutely.
I was just talking about Punishment Martinez the other day.
Oh my God. I was talking to Deb about that because we went to WrestleMania and Deb hasn't watched wrestling in a while. So like we went to NXT and Deb only knew Ethan Page and Gigi Dolan, and she didn't even know Gigi Dolan was Priscilla Kelly. I had to like explain that to her. Oh, and she kind of knew who Jordan Grace was, but she only knew Ethan Page, and she doesn't know Ethan Page from NXT. She knows Ethan Page from Evolve. So we were talking, and I was like, "Oh, Damian Priest."
She knows Ethan Page from you.
From me, yeah. And I was like, "Oh, Punishment Martinez," and then she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's what he used to be in ROH." And then I remember Deb did really come to ROH shows with us, and I was like explaining that whole thing.
Yeah,
I used to call him Punishment Hernandez, remember?
Right.
Yeah. But that's wild. Like it's wild to me. Like, yeah, that was his and people didn't really like him in ROH, if I remember correctly. He didn't really get over that.
No.
Much.
The way he was perceived, I remember it always kind of reminded me of like a Corbin thing where they kind of just saw him as a big guy that the company was trying to push.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wasn't until he started breaking out, until he started jumping over the top rope, and then like started doing double stuff, and then all of a sudden, like his in-ring skills, you saw it, and he was one of those guys that would win the crowd over. He was kind of just a heel because they didn't like him, but then all of a sudden they were like, "Oh shit, Punishment Martinez can go too."
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, I 100% remember that. Yeah.
Oh man, good old ROH.
The good old days, man.
The good old days of ROH.
Seriously.
At least this ROH isn't giving us old matches anymore during the show.
I am happy that we don't have the
I'm knocking on wood because I probably just jinxed it.
I felt like I was held hostage when that happened.
Right. Because they did it right before the main event, and it's like I just want to watch the main event.
Yeah. Like literally, I would probably turn this off right now if not for the fact that like one of the matches that I saw you advertise, I actually want to watch it. It's being held up 20 minutes so you can show me a match that I easily could have watched yesterday. Yeah. You don't know if I did or not. You don't know what I'm doing with my ROH, my watchroh.com membership, you know?
Right. How dare you? Yeah. That's ridiculous.
How dare you? You got some.
I just want to watch the main event.
Speaking of the main event, let's talk about it once again. Top Flight, AR Fox, and Mark Briscoe getting the win over STP, Shane Taylor Promotions.
This was fun. When Shane Taylor Promotions came out, I was like, Brady is so excited. He's gonna see, she agrees. And I was like, Brady's going to be really sad because they're not going to win because Mark Briscoe just came out, an OG ROHer. And I was like, and they're winning. See, Willow agrees with me. That's just how it is. I thought this match was fun. I love all these guys. I wish they used Shane Taylor Promotion a little bit more. I feel like we'll see them for like 3 weeks in a row, and then we won't see them for like a month and a half. Same with Top Flight. AR Fox too. I feel like all these people we don't see often. Like we see them for a good chunk and then they just disappear. I don't know the scheduling of ROH and it's very confusing to me.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, my obsession with Shane Taylor Promotions is simply just because of the fact that unlike a lot of the other acts, like on the other side in particular, we don't see them pop up in AEW Dynamite or even Collision that often. For the most part, if you're talking about talent that are mainly just ROH, and we're talking talent level, the collection of STP, certainly since the infantry has joined, I mean, boom, we're talking tippy top, especially with Lee Moriarty as the pure champion currently right now. I maintain Shane Taylor is exactly what they need for a world champion, in that he shows up, he can have good matches, he commands a stable, he can talk anyone in the building. So I personally don't see why. Like to me, it's a win-win considering the fact that you do use him mostly on ROH. So why not just give the championship to him?
Right. It just doesn't make any sense because they are considered like almost like pure ROH champ people because they're constantly on there, and like you said, we don't really see them other places too often. So why not just do that with them? It doesn't make sense.
I mean, I would have already gotten the wheels in motion to get all the gold on these guys.
Yeah.
And
It just
like
makes sense.
like
Yeah.
literally all the gold, because the infantry would make it's at this point it's long overdue for them to be ROH tag team champions.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
because they shouldn't be relegated to just ROH, like period. Like they really
100%.
shouldn't be just left out of the AEW tag team conversation. But for the most part, they are. So it's like if you're going to do that, then you have to go ahead and like follow through. Like you may as well. And also, we didn't see her tonight, but and that's probably why they lost. But Trisha Dora would make a phenomenal first ROH pure women's champion.
And then just rocking them all gold and everybody coming out after them every week consistently and then being on ROH television weekly, it would be perfect.
Like STP is a safe, and once again, I understand that it's funny to laugh at me because I'll pitch STP for everything, but really it's an opportunity. Like this stable could breathe life into Ring of Honor because they can breathe life into literally every division you have.
100%.
Every title you have can have life breath into it simply because Shane Taylor Promotions would be able to talk people into wanting to see it. See the title get defended, see the title get lost. Whatever way we're going to go, Shane Taylor can do it.
And just make them this unstoppable force that is dripping in gold and everybody coming after them. It would be perfect.
Yeah, and I personally think that people want to love STP, and I think you could have monstrous faces in him, but also Shane Taylor's capable of making you want to see him get his face slapped off.
Of course, that's they're like that. Those lovable heels. They're like the heels you love to cheer against, but also love to cheer.
Right,
like
and he can make you want to see him lose a title just as quick as he can make you want to see him win a title.
Exactly.
But yeah, very surprising that Ring of Honor went the short route tonight. Well, you said it was less. It wasn't even 45 minutes tonight, right?
It wasn't even 45 minutes, especially coming off of WrestleMania weekend where we had some changes. You know what I mean? So that's weird to me too. You know.
Right. There's definitely, and AEW's been going that where it's been a big week for them. There's a lot of momentum in the air, a lot of announcements coming.
I know, granted, this is pre-taped, right? This is pre-taped?
100%, of course.
Yeah, but still, I don't know.
I mean, feel like you never know where they're going with it. Yeah. Sometimes they give you 45, sometimes they give you hour 15, sometimes they give you hour 30.
Yeah,
like you never really know. I feel like they're always just trying a few different things. I wish they would try letting the heel marks write an episode of Ring of Honor. That would be an experience.
Just let us do it. We'd be the best.
Do it. We'll do it.
Yeah, we'll do it.
We
just give us one shot, one week to write a story.
Just one shot.
One shot.
Just one opportunity.
Yeah. We capture
to take everything we ever wanted.
And capture it.
We're not gonna let it slip.
Yeah. Seize the moment.
Guys, thank you for tuning in with us with the watch along. For those of you who are with us watching that main event, for those of you who weren't, listen, every week we know you're going to tune into Mark of Honor, but if you want, if that main event's on, you know there's a good chance we are on too. We like to kick off Mark of Honor with a watch along, so be sure to join us next week as we kickstart Mark of Honor with the Ring of Honor watch along. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in every single week. Tune in this weekend to another edition of the Heel Marks. Tune in next week to another edition of Mark of Honor. And guys, never forget, we're not just smart marks.
We're heel marks.
We're heel marks.